Hello, some time ago I did a review of Cooyin SR70 headphones. Pretty interesting model with nice build quality, interesting design and 70mm dynamic driver, giving pleasant sound with powerful bass. But of course, in that review I mentioned, and many of you know, that this model exists under different brands, and one of them is BLON. BLON is famous as a creator of in-ear monitors, but also they released a pair of full-size headphones, and this model became BLON BL30. So it features almost similar design, but price is 2 times lower. While Cooyin costs more than $200, BLON's price is $110, which makes it interesting and tempting. So I will add links to the Linsole shop in the description in case. And let's have a closer look, and let's try to figure out, is it the similar model or there is some difference in design and in sound quality and something like that. So package is different for the BLONs. They used case a bit reminding the cases that used by IMR, just a bit bigger, nylon hard case with zippers and with handle to simplify the carrying. So unzipping it, we've got access to the internals. So cups were wrapped in bubble wrap. I decided not to pack them back, and a stock cable. With Cooyin I've got a pair of spare tips, but actually it was a pretty strange idea, because Cooyin's earpads were glued, so to replace them you'll have to unglue them and glue back. In terms of design, it's a really good, nice, well-built headphones with a lot of metal in construction and with a lot of things done well. So you can see company's logo on these faceplates. So let's probably speak about the headband first. Here used springy steel as a headband. It has a good clamping force, providing a nice combination of secure fit and comfort. This head pad is replaceable, so you can swap it if you'd like, if you'll need to do that one day. You know, these headphones are kind of a combination of different features used in some other models. For example, this yoke holding mechanism with size adjustment reminds a bit the one used by Odyssey and some other companies. Forks remind us, for example, Audio-Technica and so on. They can be adjusted in size, but still the radius of this headband is not enough for big heads, so keep that in mind. They are suited for small and medium-sized heads. So lot of metal, and that's good, I think. And cups are big to accommodate 70mm driver inside, but there is another issue with them. These earpads doesn't provide the complete isolation. So even on the full size, if I use the full retraction, when I wear them on my head, they don't sitting flat with my ears, and they sitting this way, and there is a slight opening on the bottom side of the earpads, and that means that air is leaking and there is no proper isolation, so sound losing a bit of weight and a bit of presence, unfortunately. So different earpads gives different fit, different sound. I will tell about sound a bit later, and they also have a different grill. But anyway, keep in mind that my cat isn't happy with something. We'll have to check it out after recording this part of video. So they are open back headphones, so keep that in mind, and they're not suited for the noisy street or for office, so they playing outside. Also, the forks are not holding well on these rods. I need to tighten these screws. I will try to do that, but anyway, they are wiggling a little bit, and Cooyin provides a bit better hold is here. Stock cable is nice. Here used actually 3.5mm connectors, if I see right. Basically, let's compare. Yes, 3.5mm, so red is for the right ear, left is for the left, so this one is for left, and left goes here, right goes here. Stock cable is good, fabric isolated, basic cable, typical for the headphones. So for $110, build quality is probably okay, but you know, having the fit issues, I can't say that it's good, for at least for me. If you have a smaller head, probably you won't have these issues, and of course a bit better rods fixation here would be a good upgrade for this model. So let's do some side-by-side comparisons. First of all, as you can see, there is a different design of grills, and Cooyin ones looks a bit more neat. Actually, it's also a bit softer to touch and gives a bit more positive feel. And actually they have a different sound. Maybe partially this grill plays its role here. Also, Cooyin use a bit different screw here. You can see that this one has a flat head, this one has some kind of rounded head, and actually Cooyin fork holds much tighter with rod, so no wiggling and movements like that. And also Cooyin features different ear pads. It's bigger, it's made of foam. I'm not a big fan of this foam cushions, but they providing better fit. So headband side and these yokes are done in the same way, but these headphones provide better isolation. And also you can see that here used more transparent inner cloth than here. It's also probably play some role in the sound. So in terms of comfort they are almost equal, but this one isolates better, so I need to admit that Cooyin, I'm not sure, did they tweak them better or it's just coincidence, but they provide better fit for me. And of course about the sound, I gave them about 40 hours of burn-in and there were no big changes in the sound, but during the listening sessions I had to push the lower part of cups towards my ears to provide the better isolation, so it's not the most comfortable way of listening, but probably for smaller head it will be okay. Also, they have replaceable ear pads, they are not glued, at least on my pair, so carefully they can be how to say it, they can be disconnected, they can be taken off, and probably they can be replaced with some other ear pads with bigger and deeper fit, for example, providing the better isolation. Also, I think that it could be fixed by bending this headband. So if you unbend it further here, making it wider, and then bend more here, I'm not sure is this still springy enough for that, but maybe it could be done carefully, so it will improve the fit on the bigger head. But my hands are not suited well for such tasks. Maybe I will ask my friend that works in auto service, maybe he can suggest something. Maybe it could require some thermo treatment applied to this headband. It actually can be easily done because this head pad can be taken off. So Anyway, in terms of sound, there is a difference with Cooyin, and actually Cooyin is a bit more resolving and a bit better defined, but let's probably postpone that to the end of the review. But actually sound part will be pretty short here, because it's really close to Cooyin, giving big bass, nice impact, so you know 70mm dynamic driver can pump lot of air, and actually it's a V-shaped signature. Bass is big, but at the same time it's pretty well controlled. It has normal depth, it has okay control. You know, for $100, 110, it's pretty good sound despite everything, and it's good even for $200, but for $100 it's just really nice. Big, impactful, at the same time not over warm or not over congested because of semi-open construction. So bass impactful with good depth, normal resolution, of course normal for this price, not perfect but normal, really acceptable, with pretty good texturing, and suits well for pop music, for electronic music, but also plays reasonably well with acoustic instruments and stuff like that. But of course, as an example, here is the Antwoord, a nice big bass, and this model delivers it pretty nicely thanks to the big dynamic drivers. You can get enough of impact and at the same time pretty tight kicks. Mids are recessed, and it's noticeable. It's not a huge issue, but still noticeable that they are moved behind the bass and treble. Resolution is normal. For this price it's good, without taking price into consideration. It's just normal, but still a bit on the warmer side with a hint of additional weight. So don't expect like focus on the micro contrast, don't expect speaking of the tiniest nuances, but at the same time they are pretty forgiving for the quality of records. Despite of additional weight on the mids, they building a good imaginary stage, above average in width and in depth, not huge but above average thanks to the open back construction probably. And as an example, actually, yeah, they're playing pretty loud. Almost no isolation here, so. And as an example for the mid frequencies, Bad Bad Boy by Nazareth, nice energetic track, well, these headphones plays it okay. A bit of additional aggression would be nice, because they are a bit softer, but still it's a pretty good level of representation. And treble is accented, accent isn't big, but keep that in mind if you're super sensitive to this area. Resolution is normal, you know, resolution is normal all over the whole spectrum for this price. For this price it can be considered as good, so same applied to the treble. Extension is just about average, plus minus, so don't expect like rich layering or some audiophilic stuff like that, but at least it compensates the low frequencies pretty well, and it has a good normal resolution. And as an example for the treble, Niechęć, Mojry, avant-garde jazz from Poland, nice, good. Of course, this headphones doesn't show the full potential of this track, but still sounding pretty okay, with and playing a lot of percussions that present in this track pretty well. And speaking about the pairing, they require something powerful. If I remember right, impedance of this model is 150 ohms, so your source should be able to drive that, but vast majority of modern players will do. Not much sense in using them with some high-end gear, but still some entry-level DAP with good power would be a nice plus with them. X-Duo, for example, would be a good pairing, or some simple desktop digital to analog converter. Speaking about the comparisons, basically the only comparisons that came to my mind, it's actually Cooyin. In terms of sound, Cooyin has a better defined mids, less recessed, with slight more forward mids representation, so they are a bit more technical. You know, difference isn't huge, but at the same time it's definitely audible, even without taking into account a bit better fit, so that should be kept in mind. Of course, I'm speaking about the sound when I push them, so fit is not an issue when you push them towards your ears in this case. Also, I tested some affordable models by Takstar, for example, and by Superlux. Superlux, what is that? I don't remember the exact name of this model, 668B or something like that. They are a bit more aggressive with less bass, actually. All models I've tested with less bass, because 70mm dynamic driver here, of course, is a big bass shaker. But I don't remember them well because it was quite long ago. And this model is pretty unique because for $100 you're getting open back model with pretty good sound, with big driver and nice build quality and other stuff. But still keep in mind that there are few build issues. Earbuds are not great, if you have average or bigger head fit would be problematic, so Cooyin solves part of that and also gives a bit better defined mids. You know, probably with some modding applied, this model can be pushed to the Cooyin's level, but currently Cooyin sounds better. I can't say does it worth additional $100 or not. It's a matter of preferences. Probably if you have hands growing from the right place, you can get blondes and mod them to the proper level. But subjectively, I'd prefer to pay for Cooyin and get better fit and all that other stuff. Anyway, BLON is also a pretty good value for its price, but there are few issues that require some attention either by company or either by buyer and further modifications. Thank you for listening, thank you for your attention, and have a nice day.